Hello there, welcome to this week's episode of Understanding Politics. My name is Jadiel Kabiro. I'm here with Professor Herman Manyora. Professor, how has this week been for you?
Good.
Quite good for you?
Good, yeah.
It's been cold though.
Cold, but you see, I told you we are fighting this cold.
We are fighting.
Because if we relent,
Yeah.
we will go back to the village.
Okay, I don't know whether you have subscribed. If you haven't, why don't you go ahead, subscribe, like, share, comment on all the videos that we've been posting. And also, you can now have an opportunity to join and be able to help us produce these videos, Professor.
Yes.
When we come back, let's take a look at some of the things you said about Professor's last week analysis. He spoke about Jimmy Wanjigi and Raila, also spoke about the arrest of Gashagwa, who was later released from jail. Let's take a look what you said about those two videos. Professor Njuge Ndere said, I disagree with Professor. Arresting Gashagwa is a message to any politician wishing to join the Twanga camp and have some legal issues to think again. Will it work? We shall see. Respecting our institutions such as the courts as well as elections may not elections that may not even be held. Would you say that this is a clear message to anyone supporting Ruto that it's going to be tough starting now?
It will be a bad message. Yeah. We don't want to play our politics using our institutions. No. We want, like he says, we need to respect our institutions. How will we respect our institutions if they are used or perceived to be used? My argument was, let us not be seen to be using DCI and other agents, state agents, to be playing our politics.
So wouldn't you say that this will at least help the guys in Jubilee to know that these guys they're having now cannot leave them? The likes of Sabina Chege will be afraid of anything if they decide to go to UDA. No.
Uhuru is allowed to play his politics in the way he knows, in his Jubilee party. But let him not be seen to be using our institutions to play his politics. And that scare away, like you are putting Jubilee people from joining. No. We will not allow him. No, we cannot allow anybody.
Here is Moja One Media says, for once I disagree with you. Gashagwa allegedly stole. Let him be tried. If innocent, he will be freed. But they say Mtego Apanyu Wanasa, anyone that was at all corrupt. He shouldn't have been. That's why he's being arrested. So let him just play for him. Let him stay inside.
I have said before, nobody speaks against theft of public resources in this country more than Manyora. In fact, I am the only one on record saying all these leaders are thieves. Anybody who is a billionaire, maybe apart from one or two, they are all thieves. They have stolen our money. I've said that in public, it's on record.
So it's more of a politics.
But I'm saying I don't want anybody to drive Kenyans into disrespecting our institutions.
Which are the DCI?
We need to respect the judiciary, the DCI, ODPP, all these, the police, we must respect them. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, on the judiciary, Mura is saying, hata majaji wawili walioshikwa wafikishwe mahakamani na tusikie mashtaka yao na jaji amue kama wamekosa waadhibiwe kisheria, kama ni weupe waachiliwe. You didn't speak about the judiciary.
No, I didn't speak about those two judges because the information was too scanty. And you know the judiciary is a very sensitive bit. I've always maintained our judges are gods and goddesses. We must know that. The Supreme Court, for example, is a shrine, the national shrine. So I don't want to comment on things over which I have very little information. Okay. I don't know. But I've heard people saying they should not have been ambushed or whatever it was. And so I don't have the information. But I would think if you are saying they need to be taken through the process, the tribunal, through Judicial Service Commission, but you need evidence. So if there was evidence, if there was some suspicion, money was being shared by the two judges, then you can't blame the police for ambushing them while at it. Because if you don't do, then you will not have the evidence.
Here is Wabana. He says, Professor Liwe Liwalo Baba, article 2022, la sivyo Uhuru endelee kujenga taifa letu tukufu. This is an interesting comment. He's saying it's either Raila or President post-2022. Would you say that it's going to be difficult for Ruto once we see these kinds of comments? It's either Raila or Uhuru to continue?
No, that won't stop Ruto from campaigning or from wanting to be president. that the person is free to say that. That is just his opinion.
Okay.
But, you know, it can't be Uhuru or Raila and nothing else. No, Kenyans will decide.
Okay.
But those of us who have ability to see, and we are many, of course, we can clearly see that Ruto has an uphill task.
Interestingly, there's this court decision that elections might be, countries might decide to postpone the elections due to COVID virus. You spoke about elections being postponed, and now he's speaking about Uhuru aendele, if not Baba. Do you see this happening, postponement of elections? You said that it might. Now, is it clear for Kenyans?
There are two things about our elections next year. Two, it will be one or the other. One, we will have an election. But it will not be an election. Itakuwa bora uchaguzi. Sio uchaguzi bora. It will have so many problems. Those pushing for it will regret they were pushing for it.
Oh.
Or the second thing, will postpone election. In between, there is nothing. You cannot have a good election in 2022. It's not possible.
Would you say the court, was it the Ethiopian court, has set the precedents for Kenyans now to look in depth at postponing the election?
Not many people will give much regard to that African court, AU court. But people will disregard it. We can't postpone our elections because they have said. But I've always said, in the past 3 or 4 months, I've looked at what is happening. I've looked at the possibility of holding a serious election. I don't see it. But we shall have elections like itakuwa bora uchaguzi. Sio uchaguzi bora. Yeah.
Professor, you also did this video saying, will Raila be able to tame Wanjigi come 2022? And you also concluded by saying maybe Wanjigi will not even run. Francis Kiharangwa says, you should know the game plan better. Wanjigi is Raila's secret weapon man in Central. At the end of the day, he will hand over the Kikuyus to Raila, whether in the first place round or second round. Watch this space. Would you say now this is the game that Raila is playing for sure?
I'm not be sure. That I can't sure. I don't talk to Raila about those things. I don't talk to Jimmy about those things. But it's quite a possibility. In politics, all these things are possible. Politics is a game of games. And you can never quite tell what somebody's thinking. So the cards are always hidden.
This might be a game.
It is possible. But what I know, and I'm going to do a show on this, there are many pawns on the Kenya chessboard for 2022.
Okay.
Just like Matiba thought he was his own man when the state was behind him, there will be many candidates this year who will not know people are riding them. They are pawns.
They are pawns for other candidates. Yes. Maish Jr. says, 2022 elections is most unpredictable. I'm sure even all presidential aspirants are wondering whom to gang with in order to win. They're all in a dilemma. You've spoken to some of them. You say that most of them will just align themselves either with Raila or with Ruto come 2022.
I mean, generally speaking, we only have 2 camps. The Ruto camp and the Uhuru Raila camp. Anybody trying to play in he will get lost. The only third force that could come if the Kikuyus decide at some point they are not going to play second field to anybody and they field a candidate of their own. That's the only time we can have 3 forces.
That's the only time?
Yeah, no other time. Not Mudavadi, not Kalonzo.
Okay, when we come back, let's take a look at the talk. Let's have this conversation. I've seen Kalonzo is in talk with Raila's camp for 2022. How will this play out? Coming up on the talk. ODM leader Raila Odinga and his counterpart Kalonzo Musyoka from the Wiper Party are entering into some negotiations for power deal come 2022. My question for you, Professor, is this going to be a force to reckon with when it comes to the elections come 2022 for Ruto or even for whoever that comes up to play in the elections come 2022?
No, they say they are not negotiating about deals because NASA is dead and that's what put them together, although they are inviting Raila into Oka. But the negotiation between Kalonzo and Raila was to do with the sharing of political parties' funds, which ODM had denied them and has now since agreed to share with them. That's what they were talking about. But I know politicians talk about that on top of the table for the cameras. But beneath the table, there's something they must have said along the lines of what you are saying.
You all said that you've talked to Kalonzo for quite some time and asked him whether if Uhuru tells him to go with Raila, whether he'll say no, and you said that you doubt. Do you think he might now come together with Raila for 2022 to deputize him?
I'm finding it very difficult, almost impossible to believe Kalonzo, Mudavadi, Wetangula, Gideon Moi will play outside the handshake, where Raila is presidential candidate. I'm finding it difficult to believe. Yeah.
So at this point, Kalonzo might join with Raila. And I've also seen Gideon Moe not stepping out of Jubilee as they had planned to get into the One Kenya alliance. Does this mean that they're slowly now getting back?
Gideon Moe and Wetangula are already with the Raila and Uhuru, for all intents and purposes. I know. It is only Mudavadi and Wetangula who are still
not sure about.
They are not sure, but I'm sure in the final analysis, it is the only thing they can do.
The only
in any case, I always find them. I don't know. I don't know how they see things. Mudavadi would very easily inherit Raila. Very easily.
After
my noise directed at Mudavadi has always been, why is he not seeing that his path to the president could be through Raila?
Is Kalonzo seeing what you think Mudavadi should be seeing?
Kalonzo should also see the same.
Right now,
whoever deputizes Raila this time will surely become president.
Surely.
100% sure.
But the problem is we cannot guarantee Baba the presidency when it comes to 2022. It's going to be a tough race.
He has the upper hand.
An upper hand.
He starts as a favorite.
But
he could lose.
Okay, you know? We saw Baba in Muranga.
Yes.
People are saying that the Raila Odinga has already been endorsed by the Mount Kenya region. Would you say this is a very good leg up for him when it comes to the elections?
Of course, Mount Kenya is important. It is the richest in terms of votes and many other things. What Raila has now done is to approach this thing the way he did, I think, in 2007 and 2013. But 2007, I think 2013, 2007, where a majority of the influential persons from the mountain thought it is not good for a Kikuyu to inherit another Kikuyu when Kibaki was living. And they supported Raila. This time the group is larger. And I think they are saying the same thing. Let another community take over the leadership of this country, other than the Kalenjin and the Kikuyu, for stability purposes. Because that is the only thing that is sustainable. Anything else is not sustainable. So if he gets these billionaires, then next he can move through the billionaires, he'll get through the influential church in Central. Very influential.
Yeah.
And the church leadership and the rest of these people will be able to tone down the anti-Raila sentiments within the area. And for that reason, he could get the 20-30% he needs.
And you said Ruto needs more than 80%.
Raila needs 30% at most.
So right now, if Raila takes his 30 or 40% from Mount Kenya,
he gets his own 20 to 30, and then Uhuru tops up for him with another 10 or 15. So he has 35 to 45. Ruto is cooked.
Should Ruto now go to the Luya Nation for votes?
He should go there, but it will be very difficult for him. It depends on how Mudavadi plays. If Mudavadi stands, those votes that would have gone to Ruto will go to Mudavadi.
I don't think I've ever asked you this, though. Who would you rather deputize Raila Odinga when it comes to 2022?
For now, I'm not Raila, and I know he's doing a lot of sabu. You must calculate well. Certainly everybody thinks he must go to the mountain. It ought to be a Kikuyu or somebody like Muturi. People are talking of Peter Kenneth. Jimmy Wanjigi is another one.
But
like James Mwangi.
So would you say that once he gets a Kikuyu, his
it is not once he gets, this is what many people are thinking. But he could disregard, he could give Kalonzo. If Kalonzo comes, he could take Kalonzo. And again, a lot depends on whether by the time we are going to the elections, BBI has sailed through or not. So if BBI has sailed through, then that question becomes easy to answer.
A totally different negotiation.
Because then you will have 5 positions.
Okay. When we come back, let's take a look at, taking a look at some of the things, what Professor would rather gamble with today when it comes to our politicians. Professor, 3 political parties. Let's take a look at whom would you rather head those political parties. 1, Kimani Ichung'wah or Irungu Kang'ata to head UDA?
Kimani Ichung'wah, straight away.
Kimani Ichung'wah?
Yeah.
Why
I've told you he's a much more compact politician. Much more serious, you know. I see his level of intelligence much higher than Kang'ata. Although Kang'ata is going to school, PhD and all that stuff. But I think I'll put my bet on Kimani Ichung'wah. Okay.
John Mbadi or Junet Mohammed to take over ODM?
John Mbadi or Junet Mohammed?
Yes.
They are the same, so let any one of them can.
They're the same? Yeah, you wouldn't say one is better?
Well, you know, one is a wheeler dealer.
Okay, Okay, let me just leave it at that.
Yes.
Waiguru or Sabina Chege for Jubilee?
Waiguru has a higher profile.
So
She'll give it a higher profile.
Gone up to...
Sabina Chege is sober, would be much better, but you know, politics is not about just being sober. You need a little of hard tackle here and there. And Anne Waiguru has been through the terrain.
To the governors.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's it for today. This has been Understanding Politics. My name is Jadiel Kabiro here with Professor Herman Manyora. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. If you haven't joined, why don't you go ahead and click that blue button so we can be able to get you anytime we come up with a video, be the first one to watch. That's it for today. Until we have this conversation again, have yourselves a lovely rest of your day.